All right, now we're going to look at transformations of graphs, and then we're going to look at some common graphs. We're going to start with the absolute value graph, the parent function, f of x equals the absolute value of x. Okay, and you could do this by looking at I put some common graphs there so you could see the common graphs on there, and then you could basically, I'm going to start with the absolute value of x. And what I'm going to do is, what I'm starting with this graph, and I'm going to put a dashed version of this graph, okay? Why is it dashed? Well, because this is the original. It's not going to be my new answer. And basically, the absolute value just cuts diagonally, hits these things diagonally. Each piece here, this is like a slope of -1, that's a slope of 1, okay? So this is my original graph, okay? So when I'm teaching this, I do a dashed version of the graph to show my original graph. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this graph based on the transformations that are made here in the g of x. And so my original is the absolute value of x. My new graph is the absolute value of x plus 3, okay? So now, anytime, let's look at where this is at. This is outside of the parentheses. Anytime you add or subtract outside the parentheses, you're doing what we call a vertical shift, okay? And if you add, it's going to be a vertical shift up. If you subtract, it's going to be a vertical shift down. So the absolute value of x plus 3, and that's a vertical shift up 3 units. So what that means is I'm going to take this dash graph and I'm going to move it up 3 units. So I'm going to kind of move this little vertex point of the graph up 3 units. So my y-intercept will now be 3. And then I'm going to replicate this graph. And this time I'm going to do a solid line because this is going to be my answer. Okay, and so this would be g of x here. So it goes up 3 units. Now you could also use your calculator. You know, I've taught this before when you could use calculator to explore the options here. You go to y equals. How do you get absolute value? You go to math, num. I hit the right button for num and then abs. And you got x there. And then math, num, abs, x plus 3. A lot of times I'll have students type this in the calculator and then I'll say, okay, just notice the difference. And I apologize there, zoom. I'm out of the zoom to where I could see this. I'm going to press zoom 6. Okay, so my original graph's in the blue, and then my new graph will be in the red. So you can just notice it shifts up 3 units. So that's a vertical shift.